Question 1. What is the name of the youth dormitory for males in Urao tribe? Dhumkariya. Dhumkariya is the traditional youth. Dhumkariya has traditional youth dormitory for males found primarily in the regions of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, and Odisha. The dormitory serves as a central place where young males are trained in various aspects of tribal life, including skills, tradition, customs. The concept of Dhumkari reflects the Urao tribe's emphasis on community living, learning, and preservation. It acts as a training ground for young boys to prepare for adulthood. In Dhumkari, elders and tribal leaders impart knowledge about hunting, farming, ensuring the continuity of the dormitory also serves as a social institution where young males can foster bonds with their peers and contribute to the development of the tribal community. Tumkuria is considered as a sacred and crucial part of the Urao tribe's cultural identity, ensuring that tradition and practices are passed on through generations. Urao tribe. The Urao tribe is one of the largest tribal communities in India, mainly found in the Chota Nagpur plateau of Jharkhand and surrounding states. They are known for the unique culture, traditions, and their contribution to the preservation of India's territorial tribal heritage. The tribe is primarily engaged in agriculture, hunting, and handicrafts, which form the backbone of their livelihood. Role of Dhumpuria. The Dhumpuria is a social institution that plays a vital role in shaping the lives of the young Unnao males. It provides training in traditional skills, tribal governance, and communal responsibilities, preparing them for their roles within the tribe. The dormitory fosters a sense of discipline, belonging, and mutual respect among its members. Other option Girti or this term does not relate to you don't come career while similar name. This is not the requirement. Home Korea. Accra our refers to a space where meeting area and travel control specifically especially do not use the dormitory. Preservation of tribal culture and heritage, identity, and traditions of tribal communities. They ensure ancestral customs and practices. Modernization and urbanization pose threats to the continuation of institutions as tribal youth increasingly migrates to urban education and employment. Question though traditional Paika dance of Jharkhand is a folk dance that is an embodiment of which art? Martial art. The Paika dance is a traditional folk dance form of Jharkhand which is closely associated with the art of martial arts. This dance represents the courage and valor of the Paika warriors who historically served as a soldier for local rulers or zamindars in the region. The term Paika itself translates to a foot soldier or warrior, emphasizing the martial aspect of a dance. Movement and choreography. The dance includes intricate martial movements like sword fighting, shield handling, and various acrobatic stunts, which showcases the physical training of the performers. The dancers often use weapons such as swords and shields during the performance, symbolizing their readiness of the battle. Demonstration that this dance is a demonstration of martial skills, cultural significance, The Paiga dance is during festive occasions and community celebration in Jharkhand to honor the bravery of the warriors and tradition of the religion. Reason Paika dance. The dance originated in Jharkhand and deeply rooted in the historical context of Paika warriors who were known for their combat skills and loyalty to their rulers. The dancers wear traditional warrior-like costumes including turbans, dhotis, and accessories like shields and swords, which reflect their martial heritage. The dance is characterized by energetic and aggressive movements, showcasing the strength, agility, and coordination of the performers. Other folk dance of Jharkhand. Showa dance, another famous dance from Jharkhand, which also another famous dance form of Jharkhand, which also has element of martial arts and is performed with mass. Jhumar dance, popular folk dance performed during harvest celebration and other festival. Martial art in India, Kalari to artisanal art from Kerala known for rigorous physical training and use of weapons. Silambam, a martial art of Tamil Nadu focused on fighting with bamboo sticks and other weapons. Thangta, a martial art from Manipur involving sword fighting and physical agility. Significance of folk dances. Folk dance like Paika are an integral part, highlighting the traditions, beliefs, and skills of region. They serve as a medium to preserve historical narratives, including the valor and the martial tradition of preservation efforts. Government initiatives and organizations promote traditional dance form through festival events and education programs. Documentation and digital preservation ensure the survival of these art forms for future generations. Match the author or compiler with the work. W.G. Archer associated with the work The Blue Grove, Ram Songs. S.C. Roy, known for his work The Auras of the Chota Nagpur. J. Hoffman, associated with Mundari Durung. Rohini Kumar Mahato compiled Kumali Lok Sahitya. Option 1 correctly matches each author or compiler with their respective work at this level. Their option do not match the authors and their work correctly. Option 2 incorrectly attributes works to authors such as assigning the rounds of the Chotanagpur to W.G. Archer. Option 3 and 4 have mismatches that do not align with the respective work of the author mentioned. W.G. Archer was a British civil servant and anthropologist who studied tribal cultures. He is particularly known for his famous Onuraw travel songs, which he compiled in his book The Blue Grove. Onuraw songs. This book provided a valuable account of the Onuraw tribes' cultures, tradition, and musical heritage. S.C. Roy was one of the earliest Indian anthropologists and is considered the father of Indian ethnography. His work, The Onuraw of the Chotanagpur, is detailed ethnographic study of the Onuraw tribe focusing on their customs, tradition, and social structure. The book remains a seminal work in the field of Indian anthropology. J. Hoffman, Father J. Hoffman was a German Jewish missionary and linguist who worked extensively among the Munda tribe. He compiled Munda Durung, which is a significant contribution to the study of the Munda language literature. Rohini Kumar Mahato is known for his Works on Kurmali language and literature. His compilation Kurmali Lok Sahitya is an important resources for understanding folk literature and tradition on Kurmali speaking community. Significance of the work. Each of these works contributes significantly to the understanding of tribal culture, language, and traditions in India. They serve as primary sources for researchers and scholars studying the social and cultural history of India's tribal communities. Tribal studies in India. Anthropological studies like these are crucial for preserving and documenting the rich heritage of India's indigenous communities. They also insight into the socio-economic and social changes faced by these communities. Which of the following pairs what Brahman is correctly matched? Nyaya Gautam. Nyaya also known as Nyaya Darshan. The sixth Orthodox school of Hindu philosophy and ancient Indian philosophy. It was founded by the sage Gautam, also known as Akshapada, and is primarily concerned with logic, epistemology, and reasoning. The Nyaya philosophy through logical reasoning analysis. It aims to establish valid means of knowledge, pramana, and develop a systematic method of inquiry. One of the significant contributions to Nyaya philosophy is the theory of syllogism. Basic syllogism, which provides a logical framework drawing valid conclusion from principles of philosophy, is one of the six orthodox school of Hindu philosophy and Indian philosophy. It was founded by Sage Ganada, also known as Kashyapa, and is primarily concerned with metaphysics of ontology and the nature of reality. The Vaisheshika schools explores the concept of atoms, Parmanu, as the fundamental building blocks of the universe. According to this school, everything in the universe is made of atoms that combine and interact to form various objects and entities. These atoms possess differential qualities, both that determine their nature and behavior. The Vaisheshika school also proposes a theory of causality, suggesting that every fact has a cause and the material cause, the efficient cause, and instrumental cause are essential in understanding the nature of reality. One of the notable contributions of the Vaisheshika school is the theory of categories. Padartha identifies six categories through which reality can be understood: substance, dravya, quality, gun, action, karma, generality, samanya, particularity, vishesha, and inherent samavaya. These categories help in classification and analysis of these objects and phenomena. Mimamsa, also known as Purva Mimamsa or Karma Mimamsa, is one of the six orthodox schools of Hindu philosophy and ancient India philosophy. It was founded by sage Jamani and is primarily concerned with the interpretation of Vedic texts and rituals. The Mimamsa philosophy focuses on the study and interpretation of the karma can't rituals explain its primary goal is to provide a systematic and comprehensive understanding of the Vedic rituals and their significant and desired outcomes. The Mimamsa school emphasizes the importance of dharma, duty, and the performance of Vedic rituals as prescribed in the scriptures. It asserts that the Vedas are authoritative and eternal, and they contain the knowledge for the proper performance of rituals. Sankhya, it is the oldest of the orthodox philosophy of Hinduism, and it teaches us that everything was born from Purusha, conscious energy, soul, mind, and Prakriti, cosmic material. This school of thought traces its origin to Kapil Muni, who is the author of Samakya Sutra. The word Samakya literally means count. This school argued that the salvation could be attained through acquisition of knowledge because lack of knowledge is the root cause of misery. Knowledge can be acquired through the reasoning, Pratyaksa perception, Anumana inference, and Sutta hearing. The school believes in the concept of dualism of the Vaitavada. The school is famous for scientific system of inquiry. It further establishes the relation between Purusha and Prakriti and argues that they are absolute and independent. Yoga, the yoga philosophy originated from the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. The word yoga literally means the union of two major entities. This school of thought argued that the solution could be achieved by combining meditation and physical application of yogic techniques. Yoga school favors the application of yogic as they help humans to control their minds, body, and process. This school believes in the existence of God as a guide, mentor, and teacher, who was the founder of Vishtavidya Siddhanta. Ramanujacharya, Vista branches of Vedanta, which itself is one of the classical schools of Hindu philosophy. It translated into non-dualism with differentiation. Ramanujacharya was the founder of Advaita's Siddhanta. He believed that knowledge, jnana, and devotion bhakti were equally important according to his Advaita philosophy. Brahman is eternal but also includes elements of polarity. The soul or the self and the material world both exist only through Brahman. Unlike some Hindu philosophies which is Advaita does not see the world as simply as an illusion, which could make it separate from Brahman. The material world is a part of Brahman's nature. Who is the author of the book Democracy and Development in India from Socialism to Pro Business? Atul Kohli. Atul Kohli is the author of the book Democracy and Development in India from Socialist to Provisions. It is published by Oxford University Press. As in this book are organized systematically in three sections: political change, or political economy, and politics and development in select states. Atul Kohli is a professor of politics and special affairs at Woodrow Wilson School of Public and International Affairs, Princeton University. His principal research interests are in the areas of comparative political economy with a focus on the developing countries. Knee hold and ankle hold are defensive technique associated with which of the following sport? Kabaddi. Kabaddi is a popular content team sports originating from India. The game is played between two teams, which the objective is to score points by taking opponents and returning safely to one's own half. Defensive techniques such as knee hold and ankle hold are crucial strategy used by defenders to stop raiders from escaping. The knee hold involves grabbing the raiders' knee firmly to restrict their movement. The ankle hold is a defensive move where the defender grabs the raider's ankle to immobilize them. Kabaddi is governed internationally by the International Kabaddi Federation and features in Asian Games. Kabaddi is divided into various formats like circle style Kabaddi and standard Kabaddi, with standard Kabaddi being the most widely prevalent version. Wrestling is a major competitive sport involving grappling techniques such as throws, takedowns, and pins. It is one of the oldest sports in human history and with its origin tracing back to ancient civilization like Greece and Rome. Wrestling is designed to styles like British style wrestling and Greco-Roman wrestling. Kho is a traditional Indian sport played between two teams. The game is centered around chasing and taking opponents emphasizes speed and agility. The attacking teams of attempts to tag the defenders who try to avoid being caught within a specific area. Judo is a modern martial art originating from Japan. It focuses on techniques such as throws, joint legs, and pins to subdue components. Judo is a recognized Olympic sport and emphasizes the principle of using opponents for second them. The brunt length report our common feature only Satasi formal interviews which key concept defines the meeting present needs without compromising the agility of future trends to meet their own demands. Sustainable development. The concept of sustainable development was formally introduced in the Brundtland Report, common feature published in 1930 by the United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development. Sustainable development is defined development that meets the needs of the present without generation to meet their own needs. The Brundtland Report highlighted the interconnectedness of economic, social, and environmental developments, raising the need for balance between these factors to ensure long-term global sustainability. It paved the way for major international agreement frameworks such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which were adopted in 2001. The report brought global attention to critical issues like environmental degradation, social inequality, and the need for sustainable resource management. Brundtland Commission is also known as the World Commission on Environmental and Development (WCD). It was established by United Nations in 1993. The commission was chaired by Gro Harlem Brundtland, the former Prime Minister of Norway. Its objective was to address the growing concern about environmental degradation and its impacts on economic and social development. Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, set of 17 interconnected global goals adopted by in 2015 as a part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. They aim to eradicate poverty, combat climate change, and promote economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability. Example actions include Goal 13 Climate Action, Goal 1 No Poverty, and Goal 7 Affordable and Clean Energy. Key principle of sustainable development: intelligence and equity, ensuring that the resources are available for generation, integration, balancing environmental, social, and economic factors in decision making. Precautionary principle: taking preventive actions to protect the environment even in the absence of full scientific certainty. Global impact: the Brundtland report inspired the Minister Ban Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro nations adopted the Agenda 21 Comprehensive Plan for Sustainable Development. It also influenced the creation of Paris Agreement in 2015 and combating climate change in Goal 1 to end poverty in all forms. Sustainable development area of goal. Goal 1 to end poverty in all forms. Goal 3 good health and well-being. Goal quality education, clean water and sanitation. गरीबी शारीरिक रूप से स्वस्थ शैक्षणिक Pansexotropia. Which act deals with the environmental protection in India? Environmental Protection Act 1986. Environmental Protection Act 1986 was enacted under Article 253 of the Constitution of India and was passed in the aftermath of the Bhopal gas tragedy in 1984. The Act provides the central government the authority to take necessary measures to protect and improve the environment in terms of preventing environmental pollution and impose penalties on individuals or organizations that harm the environment. The Act serves as an umbrella legislation covering various mandatory issues and integrating the provisions of the other laws such as the Air Act, Municipal Gas and Water Act 1970. It empowers the government to regulate industrial process, hazardous waste management, and emissions or discharge into the environment. Wildlife Protection Act 1972. This act was enacted to protect wildlife, flora and fauna and their habitat in India. It provides for the creation of national parks, wildlife sanctuary, and biosphere reserves. It prohibits hunting of endangered species and imposes penalties for violations. Air Prevention and Control Pollution Act 1981. The act was enacted to address air pollution and ensure the quality of air in India. Federal and state pollution control board to monitor and control air pollution. It regulates industrial and ensures compliance with the emission standard to reduce air pollution. The Act focuses on preventing the release of harmful pollutants into the atmosphere. Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act 1970. This Act was the first law in India aimed at preventing and controlling water pollution. It provided for the establishment of pollution control boards at the central and state level. The Act regulates the discharge of pollutants into water bodies and promotes the treatment of sewage and industrial effluents. It empowers the boards to take action against industrial and entities violating water pollution norms.